What's going on, Star Wars fans?
Hello there.
We have an amazing actress and stunt woman with us on this episode. Please join me in welcoming Lauren Mary Kim.
Hi,
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, good. Thank you for taking the time. I know things are starting to move again in your world, and so thank you for taking the time and around the holidays and stuff and being on here with us and talking Star Wars.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Now, you want to maybe some people that don't know who you are and some of the stuff that you've done, whether it's Star Wars and I know you've done some other things as well. Maybe just give us a brief history of how you got into this and what you're doing now.
I'm a professional stunt woman and actress. Most people best know me for my work on Clone Wars, where I got to do the motion capture for everyone's beloved character, Ahsoka. And I got to work with Dave Filoni and Ray Park. And then I also got to work with Dave Filoni as the armor when I doubled Emily Swallow on The Mandalorian. But I've also doubled Diana Inosanto as the magistrate, Mercedes as Koska Reeves.
Oh,
Fennec Shan, I was one of her doubles for Ming Na. And yeah, it's been quite a journey in this little Star Wars world.
yeah, it's crazy how big the Star Wars world is. And if you don't know until you get into it, especially as, an actress or an actor, and all of a sudden, people are coming out of the woodwork going, "Hey, I know you," or "Hey, weren't you in this?" Because everybody that is a fan, especially some of us diehard fans, is just like, you know, they know the people walking around and things, which is really cool. And I think you've added so much to this universe. I've watched a bunch of your stuff, on your YouTube channel, which will send that out there. It's Lauren Mary Kim, and she has some really cool stunt reels on there and some training reels and just some really cool videos of some of the things that you've done, which is pretty neat.
Thank you.
So what how did you get into stunt being a stunt woman or acting or things like that?
Well, I got in a long time ago. So back then, people didn't even know about stunt performers. I didn't even know about stunt performers. I came to LA to act and dance, actually. And I was a professional dancer. My first job was actually a Laker girl.
Oh wow.
Um, and then while I was doing Lakers, I was taking a gymnastic class and I met a bunch of stunt guys and they were like, you should do stunts. And I was like, well, I don't even know what that is. And then they helped train me, introduced me to people. And then that's how I got in. It was by luck. So, I didn't even know anything about the business. So it was just a learning curve. But yeah, 20 years later, here I am.
That's awesome. And I was reading that you do a lot of the karate and those type of different martial arts to obviously for the sword fighting and the kicks and stuff like that, which I think is really neat. And I think that's really cool too, is like you were talking about with the Ahsoka stuff, getting all that stuff put all over you, and you and Ray Park were able to do I think one of the best fighting scenes ever. And if you get on social media, a lot of people will agree with me about that. So I think that's really cool. And again, it's just thank you for doing that and bringing that to the Star Wars universe and your talents, which I think are great. And yeah, obviously Ray Park is amazing, which obviously you already know. So how was that working with him? He's obviously a very professional and a very good martial artist.
Yeah, working with him is like working with a 10-year-old. He has so much energy. He's like bouncing off the walls, like flipping and like twirling his staff like constantly. And I had to tell him on set many times, I'm like, it's a marathon, not a sprint. We got to conserve our energy because we're going to be doing take after take after take. And he's like, oh, yeah, right. But it was just, he's super collaborative. He's really easy to work with. He would listen to my suggestions and like it was just really cool to be with someone that was creative and open-minded. So that was a really fun experience for me because as a stunt performer, we don't usually get to make our own choreography. Usually there's a fight coordinator there or a stunt coordinator overseeing everything. So we were actually in charge of it. We were the ones creating. So it was really gratifying to be a part of that process too.
Wow, that's pretty cool. And again, I think it was neat for you, like you just explained, you helped him with some stuff as well, because I guess he's more of an actor and a martial artist, where you're an actress and a stunt woman, and I think, maybe the time frame is a little bit different, but you've probably done a few more things. I mean, I know he did the one show where he was the frog man in DC or Marvel, which one of the the Wolverine and X-Men
Oh yeah.
movies. But again, the stuff that I was reading that you've been in and things you've done a lot, which so I think that's really cool that you were able to bring that experience to someone like him, and you guys were able to collaborate that, because again, it's just such a really amazing fight, and again, it is one of the most beloved characters now. I mean, she's I've been a fan since day one, literally. And as she came into the Clone Wars, and continued to grow and grow, I mean, she has become, one of my favorite characters, which some people, give me a little crap about, but it's like she's just such a great. Dave has brought such a great character to all of us, I think, and you've been able to add that along with Ashley and Rosario, and all these people working on this one character to be such a great Jedi at the time, and then walk away from the Jedi Order. But again,
Mhm.
to have this live action, series out now, that's, yes, it's a Rebels live action, but it's also it's mainly about her, and
Yeah.
has come into our lives and just done such a great job. And I think you've really captured that, in these fights, because again, she is such a great warrior. So I think it's cool that you're able to do that and be on set with those people. And how was it working with Dave, the new got his new promotion? So that's pretty cool. So we're all looking forward to that.
Yeah. He's also super collaborative. Like he would listen to our ideas and yeah, I super creative. Yeah, I really enjoyed working with him a lot. And I really want to work with him again. So yeah, please Dave, hire me again. But yeah, I mean he's like the god of Star Wars. So yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
that's great.
he really has taken over George's spot, which is great, because I think he has the love for it, like George did, and like we all do, which is really neat. So I'm very passionate and excited for what's to come, in the next few years here.
Yeah.
Just with some of the new stuff that's coming out, Bad Batch 3 will be out next year. I think they've pretty much sort of locked in like Acolytes and I think Wrecking or Skeleton Crew
Hmm.
for this year. So did you do anything with any of the new stuff that's coming out?
No, I was actually on another project in Italy for like 6 months. So I was had my hands tied on that project. It's Old Guard 2 with Charlize Theron.
Yeah.
So while we were shooting that, they were shooting Skeleton Crew and Acolytes. I think was in Europe. I think maybe they
Yeah.
shot that. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's pretty neat. And I noticed that you did some Furious stuff, Furious 7. Is that
Oh
correct?
yeah.
And then
Yeah,
some
three
Electra.
and seven. Yeah, yeah, Daredevil.
Yeah, which is cool, because I'm sure a lot of people watching this are also obviously, Marvel or DC fans and stuff. Now, I did see a picture, and I don't know. Now, did you do some stuff for Ms. Marvel, or was that
Yeah.
just okay?
So I was the main stunt double for Villani, who plays Miss Marvel, and we shot
Yeah.
that in Thailand and Atlanta actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Cool. Now, how was it working on The Mandalorian?
Um, first season was surreal because no one knew about it. It was a big secret, Grogu, no one even knew about it. And back then we called him the baby. Um, so it was just exciting, but we also didn't know how it would be received by fans. It was just new territory. Um, we didn't know if it would be big or, flop or people would hate it. So, we just didn't know. So, and it was exciting because, I got to see the screen, the LED screen, which is like super cool to see in person because it's not even just everywhere you see, but it's also the ceiling. It's like it moves when you move in the scene. Like the technology is insane. So yeah, I mean, it was just a surreal experience to be on that set.
That's
You feel
awesome.
like you're in history in a way, in the
Well,
making.
yeah, oh, absolutely. And you will be now,
Yeah.
which is cool because again, I think anything that comes out now, Star Wars, I mean, it's a culture at this point, I mean,
Oh yeah. I
it's
noticed that being like my first like Comic Con I ever did. I just was like, people were like, you should do Comic Cons and signings. I'm like, no, I don't know. I mean, is anyone gonna want my signature? They're like, yes. I'm like, no, I don't know. It took me a long time to get to that point, and then I went to one. I was just so baffled how many people knew who I was or knew about the scene or knew about anything. And I just couldn't believe how dedicated the Star Wars fans were. I mean, they're more dedicated than any other franchise by far, I feel like.
yeah, and everybody is so immersed in it as well. I mean, I'm a big fan, obviously, but there's other people that are just, you know everything about it, but it's in our culture every day. I mean, I've talked to like Chris and even and Amy, we were talking about. I mean, there's the words and different characters that they talk about in other movies and other TV shows, Big Bang Theory and stuff like that, where they make references to some of the things, I'm your father and just different things, referencing Darth Vader or Yoda or different things like that in everyday
Yeah.
world where you see that sometimes, with some other movies, but not as much with Star as you do with Star Wars, which I think is really neat.
Yeah, totally. It's like a cult following
Yeah,
for
but a
like
good one.
decades.
Right, but a good
Yeah,
one.
yeah, good one.
A good one. That's awesome. Now, how long did it take you to get into costume when you were doing the animation stuff with what are they like styrofoam? Are they cloth? What are those little dots?
So they're called markers, and
Okay.
it doesn't take any time at all. Like it's just literally wearing like a workout outfit, spandex suit, and then they just put all these Velcro dots all over your body so they can track all your movement pretty much. So it takes like no time compared to like putting on the armor outfit.
Right. How long did the armor outfit take?
Oh man, maybe like 5 to 10 minutes because you have a
Oh, okay.
couple. Yeah, you have a costumer helping you, so she does everything.
Gotcha. So not like you're not putting on makeup, you're just putting the clothes on and then the helmet on and doing your thing, so
Yeah.
other people
I
don't
mean,
get.
there's so many different snaps though that are hard to put on with like, different pieces in the back and like, yeah, it's a whole production for
Yeah.
sure. Each person has their own costumer on
Oh, okay.
set. Yeah.
Well, that's cool. And I'm sure that probably helps with the time as well. Because again, if you're getting in and out of that or doing some, there's other people doing maybe something different as well. So to sort of swing back on the Velcro things. So obviously those were pretty strong Velcro because I mean you're doing some pretty crazy moves, and so is, Ray, when you guys are spinning around and doing those lightsaber battles. So obviously do those things fly off at all or any mishaps or anything like that?
I mean, the only time is when you're like getting close contact, like touching hands or arms or like different. Sometimes the Velcro will come on his like the markers will transfer.
Okay.
But they can track it like right away. Like if something's off,
Right.
like the technology is pretty fast, and what's yours and what's not yours.
So to give us a little bit of a time frame, when you guys did that actual fight with you and Ray, how many hours or days or approximate takes do you guys think, you did?
So it took us 2 days to make up and rehearse the fights. And then when we went to Lucasfilm, we shot in a whole day everything.
Okay.
And I don't even know how many takes we did. We did a lot because by the end, it was mainly Ray's sweat was like all over the ground. There's like literally puddles on the ground, but we were sweating and we were killing ourselves.
Well, I mean, I can't imagine. I mean, I work out, but I mean, and I've taken some martial arts and stuff, but I think it's really cool that, you guys again just hours and hours and hours. It's not like you're going to the dojo and,
Right.
doing your lesson for an
Yeah.
hour and okay, thank you, sensei, and you leave, or even if you're doing it, even if you're doing a tournament and you go and you win one or you lose one and you got to wait for your next one, you get some downtime. And I'm sure you guys didn't, you guys weren't sitting around for 2 or 3 hours waiting until the next one. It was like, okay, let's do it again and
Yeah.
again, you know. So I
Yeah,
think
you it's like no hair and makeup, no lighting changes, no wardrobe changes. It's just us all day. Go, go, go.
that's awesome. Well, and again, the training for it, is exceptional, and I think you guys just like I said, you've brought that to the animation, to again some of the things that I've seen, when one of the Comic Cons or whatever that you were at maybe recently, and just jumping around a little bit with the lightsaber, which is pretty neat. So do you do any of that when you go to these Comic Cons? Have they asked you to do any of those demonstrations, or do you just usually, oh, this is fun, I just do this on my own, or did they actually set something up for a demonstration?
Um, no, I mean the last one I did a couple actually the last time, but usually we like try to make something up and then we'll like rehearse it a bunch, like I did one with like a couple friends. I forgot the name of their other group, but that one actually turned out really well. We shot it like 3 or 4 times in front of everyone at the Comic Con, and it was super fun for the fans to see the process because they actually saw us making up the fight. So they saw like everything from square one. Like, no, do it like this. Okay, let's change the choreo here, and then this doesn't work, and so let's do that, and then we would do it slow. And then
Right.
when we felt more comfortable, we would do it to speed, and then people actually got to see it, the final product.
That's
So
pretty neat. And
it
that,
was pretty cool for them to see that.
oh, absolutely. And like you said, to see it from sort of like the think about it to the
Yeah,
transition and the oh, hey, let's switch this up. So I'm guessing so that was the one where the guy sort of pulls the lightsaber out at the
yeah,
yeah, like out of his belt. Yeah, that was
yeah.
that was pretty cool. So yeah, I think that was neat. Have you been to Celebration yet? Star Wars Celebration?
No, I was actually supposed to go one year, and I had to work that weekend, so I couldn't make it. And then I'm not doing Japan. That one's like I think they're doing a special one for like the old schools. I'm not sure.
Okay.
Yeah, but hope my whole goal is to do celebration at least once.
Yeah, no, it's amazing, and you never know. It's over a year away, so I mean, they might call you and say, "Hey, come on out here," because again, it's tens of thousands of Star Wars fans, which I think is
Yeah.
neat because it's not like Comic Con is great, but it's anime and Marvel and it's everything. Where Star Wars Celebration is Star Wars.
Yeah,
That's
that's
it,
it.
which is pretty awesome. So
Yeah.
again, it's from animation to the games to the books to the movies and everything else. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm hoping Japan will work out for me. I'm planning on heading over
Oh,
there for
cool.
that, and I think we're gonna go over a couple days earlier, stay a couple days, because again, you can't
Yeah.
just go to Japan and turn around and come home.
Yeah.
You might as
No, you
well
can't do
go
that.
over and enjoy it. And this was the one in England last year was actually the first one that I've missed since 2010.
Oh, wow. Oh my
But
God.
yeah, so it's fun. Again, it's a Star Wars thing, so it's fun, to go there and see the panels and stuff like that where you guys get up there and talk about different things or stuff that's coming out, and obviously they always, put out the new stuff, we get a little sneak peek, at all that stuff before it comes out. But it's neat to see people like yourself up there and talking about your experiences and things like that, in these
Yeah.
things. So
Is it in
um
Tokyo this year or in
in
another city?
20 in 25, I think it is going to be in Tokyo,
Tokyo.
but it's yeah, and then it's going to be in 25, so April of 25, I think. Don't
Do
quote
they
me on
plan
that one.
years after that, like already, or not really? They have no
No,
idea.
usually what I mean, I'm sure they do in the back, in the back behind the curtain, they do, but usually at the end of celebration, like the very last like panel thing or whatever they do, they'll come out and say, "Hey, next year we're going to be in Anaheim or 2027 we're going to be, in Chicago." So they'll usually
Okay.
do that. So I'm sure they probably have an idea that I'm pretty sure that they'll bring it back here to the States after Japan
Okay.
25 because it'll be away from the States for almost 5 years, I think. By
Wow.
the time they come back, because being in London and then being in Japan, so if they do it in 26 or 27, But I think one of those years would actually bring maybe one of the movies. Yeah, it would. So 27 would bring A New Hope to 50 years.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's
which would be
incredible.
crazy. Yeah,
That
yeah.
is
So
crazy.
5 decades. So again, thank you for coming on here, and we really appreciate you coming up here or coming on here and talking about it.
Well, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. So I have a couple quick questions I want to ask you before you go, and I usually ask
Okay.
everybody, and I won't. They're just quick ones. Nothing's going to hurt anybody's feelings or anything like that. So, and you have a second to think about it. And I know we had talked. So, so your favorite Star Wars movie?
Rogue One.
Okay, awesome. Now, why?
I don't know. I think I'm just obsessed with Donnie Yen's character in that. I mean, the fact that he was blind and he's just been like someone I looked up to my whole like career as a stunt person. Like, um, I guess I'm like just a huge fan of his
Yeah,
too. And then the fact that they paid homage to him in that movie and really like did justice to him as a performer. I think that was really cool how they
yeah.
incorporated him.
But and did you see John Wick 4?
Yes, I did.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah,
yeah.
he
I
did
thought that
great in
was
that.
cool that
Yeah.
he came
John Wick
back
4 is
as
definitely one of the better ones of the
yeah.
four.
Yeah, and for him to come back as that blind,
Yeah.
it was awesome. It was awesome.
Yeah.
That's
That was
that's
really
really
cool.
cool. Yeah. Favorite Star Wars character?
Mm, Ahsoka.
Awesome.
I'm biased.
But she is. She has. I tell you, Filoni has really, I think, struck a home run with her. Obviously, they're just building and building on her. So I think that's really cool. Now, out of the movies, whether you've done something like that or not, what would be your favorite scene, or maybe saying in the Star Wars universe? Do you have one?
Favorite scene?
Yeah.
Oh man. In
Like
the
even
movies?
Yeah, even in Rogue One, was there a favorite scene? Like for me, I'm a huge, obviously original, but I love all of them. I love all the books and everything. My favorite scene was when Yoda and Dooku fought because for
Oh
me,
yeah.
he was a puppet forever and this great Jedi
Mm.
master, and all we did was see him wandering around with a cane and very slowly, and then all of a sudden, he flips that lightsaber into his hand and it ignites, and it was just like mind blowing for me because he's my
Yeah.
favorite character.
I think when you see Hayden Christensen's character turn into the dark side for me, because it was like a good, I don't know, it was very emotional, and him fighting Obi-Wan, that was very emotional, and I don't know,
Yeah,
like his storyline, I was always like interested in, I guess.
yeah.
Plus, I had a huge crush on him when I was a kid, so
So out of the out of the live action, do you have in your opinion, do you have a favorite story out of from Obi-Wan to Ahsoka to Andor, Mandalorian? I know you've been involved in, some of them, but
I I'm still a huge fan of season one of Mando. That's like my favorite because it was new. It was just this new world we got to explore, and then with the child at the time, like everyone, I was obsessed with him. Like I think I was one of the first people to, like, pre-order like my baby Grogu.
that's awesome.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, that my of the new series, Mando one is still my favorite.
Yeah. Yeah. And they just they did such a good job with that. And again, there's always critics out there, but man, I've really enjoyed all of it. There was
Hmm.
some things that were a little, I mean, even Andor for me was a little slow at the beginning, but man, it finished out so awesome. And then when I went, I've watched it 3 or 4 times all the way through. But again, they did such a good job with that, especially at the end when you find out why the prison that he's in and what he's working on, as a piece of the Death Star. But
Yeah.
for me, Obi-Wan was my favorite. I thought they did a great job. They faked us out, I think, which was great, by bringing in
Hmm.
little Leia instead of all of us thought, oh, it was going to be about Luke, which I thought was really great. And again, the emotional stuff that that Ewan and Hayden got into while they were fighting was just such good acting. And for everybody
Mm.
to love Hayden now that he's back in it, I think is so cool. Because again, when the prequels came out, people were hating on him. and
Yeah.
he was the new guy, and same with
Yeah.
Ahmad Best, as Jar Jar.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden he comes back and now he is the Jedi that saves Grogu, you
And
know.
I love Ahmed. Like he
Yeah,
is the coolest guy. If you ever get to talk to him, he is a really cool, amazing human being. And I even
yeah,
got my Jar Jar Binks signed by him.
that's awesome. That's
Yeah.
awesome. So you already answered one of them, which was I always ask Rogue One or Solo because they're the spinoffs, but you said Rogue One and all the movies. Animation, Clone Wars, Rebels, Bad Batch.
Clone Wars.
Okay,
I'm
awesome.
still watching it now,
Yeah.
so I'm off so biased.
I think it's neat because again, a lot of people talk about the animation and oh, it's for kids or this or that, but
Yeah.
it's really not. It tells more of the Star Wars story, which I think is cool. It dives into these characters as you're finding out, about these different characters and stuff like that. So,
Yeah,
one
definitely.
one last question, and I'm gonna let you go.
Okay.
Jedi or Sith?
Oh, Jedi.
Okay, awesome. I figured because of
Yeah, I know.
Ahsoka,
I
which
mean, hello.
uh-huh. So again, thank you so much for being on here. It was great talking with you. I really appreciate you taking the time. I know, like I said, it's a little bit after the holidays and stuff coming up, and you guys, thank goodness, are done with this strike. So I know we're all looking
Yeah.
forward to some fun, live actions and some animation and some movies here in the next, few months and in the next year or two. So um hopefully I'll run into you in person sometime. It's funny,
Yeah.
once I met Chris on this, I actually met him. He was here in Nashville
Oh,
for a
wow.
convention. So I got to
Oh,
meet him in
awesome.
person. And I usually run into Amy once in a while, out on the road and stuff, which is cool. So, but
Yeah.
again, it was awesome talking to you. Good luck with everything. Please stay safe out there.
Thank you. I
It can be a
will.
little bit dangerous. I've watched some of those videos and I was just like, oh, yeah, I would definitely be hurt. So, thanks again. And until next time,
Bye.
join
Thank
us.
you.
Thank you. Join us on the next Star Wars Jedi chat. And may the force be with you. And we'll see you next time. Take care.